Slightly Mad Studios' latest game is coming screeching around the corner just as we're reaching the finish line of the race for the current generation and the start of the next. No, I'm thankfully not talking about Fast and Furious Crossroads, but Project Cars 3, coming out this summer for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. It is anything but a rehash of Project Cars 2, making some surprisingly deep changes to gameplay, progression, accessibility and the various modes on offer. What you're seeing in the background is B-roll footage provided to us by Slightly Mad and Bandai Namco, showing off the new circuits and visuals. We sadly haven't gone hands-on with the game because of, the coronavirus pandemic, but we have been privy to an in-depth explanation of everything that is new. So let's dive into 7 ways that Project Cars 3 is shaking up the series. Number 1. Gamewide Progression. Project Cars 2 didn't really have a progression outside of the career. All of the cars were unlocked from the start, their specs were set in stone, and so on and so forth. Project Cars 3, however, ditches that in favour of game-wide progression systems. Across the game, across all of the modes, you'll be earning experience, you'll be levelling up, completing accolades, and then be able to use that to feed your progression through the rest of the game. Number 2. Earn and upgrade a garage of cars. What counts as progression in racing games? Well, buying and upgrading faster and faster cars. Project Cars 3 will start you off in road cars, ending up in GT categories with 10 classes of vehicles overall. But they're embracing the idea of car upgrades, letting you take a car all the way through the game. It's not that realistic to take a high-powered road car and then mod it until it's able to lead the pack in GT3 or something like that, but it is something that is kind of representative of sporting regulations where race cars need to have a road car equivalent and some technical elements that are the same. Don't worry about this potentially locking you out of content though. There's always the custom event single player mode where you can race with any car in the game that you like on any track, and there's loan vehicles that you can borrow as and when you head online. Number 3. A more linear career. Slightly Mad have stepped away from the sprawling choose your own career structure of Project Cars 2 in favour of something much more linear and straightforward. You now start off in Road E class, work up to Road A, then through Hypercars, GTC, B, A and Open Formula, and then you've got invitational challenges alongside this. The idea through all of this is that Slightly Mad can have a more curated approach to events and vehicles, with more game modes alongside the pure racing. Number 4. Race objectives and action points. There's nothing worse than trundling around in 4th place while the leaders are miles out in front, and so Project Cars 3 hopes to make the races feel more varied with objectives and action points. Yes, the ultimate goal is still to win, but now you might be racing to also finish within a certain time, draft opponents and then pass them cleanly, hit a certain top speed, hit the apexes on certain corners and so on. We can really see the influence of Paul Rashinsky here, the game director of Drive Club and now on Project Cars 3. They're also trying to make the racing just feel more action-packed visually, with revised post-processing effects, motion blur, camera shake and impact effects. You can really see this in some of the footage in the background, with the follow camera field of view changing as you accelerate, pulling back before then pushing forward as you have to brake. And it's an element that I think is probably going to be a little bit divisive, with most sim racers probably just wanting to turn it off. Number 5. The new Rivals mode. Project Cars 3 features a new asynchronous Rivals mode. This is an evolved form of the community events from Project Cars 2, with more types of events that it will throw at you, and with a persistent leaderboard pressure from dynamically loaded in ghosts of your nearest competitors. You'll earn rival points by taking part, aiming to improve your standings, which will then see you moving up and down the Rivals ranking tiers come the end of the month. It seems like a fun way of keeping the game engaging, even if you don't really feel like heading online for the potential carnage of head-to-head racing. Speaking of which though, number 6, GT Sports Style Online. Head-to-head online is getting a big shake-up in Project Cars 3, taking a leaf out of GT Sports' book. You do still have custom lobbies, don't worry about that, but there's also a simple quick play option and new scheduled events. These are set in the future and you can put your name in the hat for them, dipping in to set qualifying times that then feed the skill-based matchmaking system alongside skill and safety rankings, so that you should be matched up with other drivers of a similar skill level. This is a great system in GT Sport, and there's really no reason for Slightly Mad not to borrow what should become an industry standard feature for Project Cars 3. And finally, number 7, new Gamepad Handling. After promises of better gamepad handling weren't met by Project Cars 2, Project Cars 3 promises the exact same thing. But while we haven't been able to go hands-on, I actually believe them this time. Gamepad racing needs to be much better for a game to reach a mainstream audience, and that is absolutely the vibe that I get from Project Cars 3, that they're shooting for the mainstream. Overall, this game is a big shift in tone for the Project Cars series. The simplified, more straightforward career and progression, and the jazzed up visuals will aim to make this appeal to a broader, more casual audience. But hopefully the game can still retain that sim racing edge that its predecessors had, with the more accessible schedule events that you'll find online being a big quality of life improvement. That's all that we've got for this video today, but hopefully you've enjoyed this look at Project Cars 3. As we said at the head of the video, this is coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC this summer, but Slightly Mad are not yet talking about next generation or if they're going to do anything special there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, you can head over to thesixaxis.com for our written preview, but make sure to hit like, subscribe and share before you go. Hopefully we will see you again soon. Goodbye!